Today's sponsor is a new shaving company called the House of Atlas. They gifted me one of their razors, and honestly, I am blown away. Not only does it look insanely sleek as it sits in my bathroom, but it also gives me a very close shave. With House of Atlas, I feel I have taken my hygiene routine to a whole new level. Let me tell you guys this. Shaving is no longer a chore. I now genuinely look forward to it. First off, the Atlas razor has stainless steel US-made blades, and they're spaced apart enough that it barely clogs. That means fewer stops to rinse and a faster shave. I've also been loving their precision shave cream because it seriously leaves my skin feeling soft. And if you want to pick one up in person, House of Atlas is available at Target stores nationwide. But for a limited time, I want to offer you 20% off site-wide. Plus, they're even going to include free shipping. Just go to houseofatlas.com. Use my code Chael at checkout. You got it when you check out. Say you got it from Chael. That's going to get you 20% off plus free shipping, anything on the site. Plus, House of Atlas is available at Target stores nationwide. I want you to visit houseofatlas.com, and I want you to do it today. If you want to make it even simpler, I've attached a link below. All right, Jake Paul. Jake Paul, I need to hear from you. Send me a text message and I will come relay it to the audience. Jake Paul paid me a compliment one time. He said that he watches all the videos. Now, that might just be something you say to a guy to be nice. And by the way, it was nice. It made me feel good. But if he really does, you just leave a comment in the section. But I need an answer to this. Jake Paul, Tank Davis, make a bet. And Aiden Ross is right in the middle of this. Like, there is really nobody that is better than stirring the pot that does not come across as he's stirring the pot. Comes across as a regular guy. Like, Aiden has a skill. So they're at this press conference and Aiden comes to the microphone. Tease him up. All right. So it starts with a $250,000 bet. And this is between Jake and Tank, right? I mean, this is the old-fashioned, I think I can beat you. I think I can beat, but I really mean it. Do you really mean it? Okay, well, I mean it so much, I'll bet you 250 grand. Do you mean it enough to bet me 250 grand? And it escalates. It goes right to $500,000. It goes right to $1 million. They settle on $2 million, and Jake wants to make this thing official. So Jake actually says, shake on it. Now, these two have to be separated. These two cannot be together. But it is so important, per the codes of men, that they shake. No shake, no official bet. It's important. And Jake gets up, comes across the stage, and Tank comes across the stage. Now, normally, if these two are going to come across the stage, all hell's going to break loose. They literally set that aside because of the code. And they shook hands. I thought it was great. I just thought this was this great thing. Now, I want to talk about this. These make me slightly uncomfortable. And in this setting, what I'm about to say may not apply, but MMA guys do this. In fact, Gene Silva did this as recently as UFC Noche was as recently as 2 Saturdays ago. And Gene was willing to bet Diego Lopez his entire purse. And it wasn't over the winner of the fight. It was that you will not take me down. So Lopez has 25 minutes. And don't forget, guys, a slip counts. I mean that quite literally. If you're talking about the world of takedown, if one guy slips and falls down, but the other guy jumps on top before that guy gets up, that's a takedown. In every style of wrestling, that's a takedown. Okay. So I'm just sharing for you, like when Gene Silva did this, if I was to watch Gene Silva and Lopez fight, as a human being, there's going to be a really tough moment because one of them is going to lose. One of them's dream comes true and one of them's dream is dashed. But it's a hard thing. When you come through the industry, you actually know what goes into that. And you know how badly that guy needs that money. And you know how many other people are counting on the money. I'm just sharing for you. I didn't like the bet. And Lopez said, no deal, I'm not taking your money. I am going to try to take you down, though. And I appreciated it. It's squashed. Okay. These guys that are both rich, it makes things a little bit different. But here's what happened, and here's why I need Jake Paul to win. We have to have clarity on this. The one thing you can't have in this business is anybody question your word. Truly. If your word gets called into question, you're out of business. We do not have time to do contracts every single day. We do not have time to meet with people and re-meet and negotiate and then renegotiate and sign this and make sure it goes through legal and get it notarized and get it over here and get it filed. We don't have time. It has got to be, will you do this? Do you agree to that? It has to be, or the industry comes to a stop. Now, I'm just sharing with you, everybody's involved. You got a triangle. You got the promoter, you got the red corner, you got the blue corner. They all have to understand this code. Now, Jake shakes on it, and I knew what that meant. My father taught me what that meant, but not everybody's father taught them. So I knew the code that Jake had, and I knew why it was so important that even though this deal was made and a verbal contract was reached, I knew why it was so important that Jake come across and shake. I respected it. Tank came out, and here's where the problem comes, okay? Tank came out on Twitter, and he said, that fool was never getting the $2 million. And then he put the initials for I don't give an F. What happens? All right. Now, I am fine with this, even in spite of the shake. I really am. If you come out and you let the world know as publicly as you can, same way that you did the shake, you let them know as publicly as you can, hey, caught up in the moment, I was performing, that was your thing, I didn't have time to think it through, I need to be very clear with you, we don't have a deal. That's actually fair game. That's actually, and nobody would question that. Not my father, not Jake, not Jake's father. Like, people that live by the code, they would actually accept that. But is that what we have? Therein lies my question. Herein lies is why I need a response from Jake. I need to make this crystal clear to everybody, and I need to make it clear to myself. Because there's a couple of different interpretations. But they can't come out after the fact. It has to be said ahead of time. Here's the deal. I believe that Tank just called the bet off. I believe. But he was never getting the $2 million. Tank could come out later and say, whoa, hey, like say Tank wins, pay me my money. Yeah, the deal was off. You said right on social media. No, whoa, no, whoa. What I meant by that was you were never going to beat me. You're never getting the $2 million. You're never going to beat me. The bet was still good and now you owe me, right? Do you see where the problem comes? Now, I do feel that I have it the right way, which is the bet's off. Fine. I'm completely fine with that. But I do need to know, and my belief for that is when he says, I don't give an F what happens. That strengthens my belief that he called it off. Hey, I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens in the fight. I'm not worried about winning. I'm not worried about losing. I'm going out to the best I can. I'm going to go try to beat this guy. And when that's done, we all walk away. That's my interpretation. It's not fully what was said. And things like this really shouldn't be complex. Like the bet that they made, hey, we got a boxing match coming up, and if I get the win, I get paid. If you get the win, you get paid. Like, it sounds very clear that there really doesn't sound for any room for ambiguity. But there is just a little bit. And I do not want a situation. It would not be fair to Jake at all. Not want a situation where if Tank goes out, lets this play out, and what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. Hey, I'm expecting you to pay me. We had that deal. Well, wait a minute. I thought that you called that deal off. Well, I didn't call the deal off. You misinterpreted that. Where's my money? So let's just clear it up. I will be the arbitrator of this. I just need to know from Jake, do I have it right? I believe that deal is off. Clarify that for me, please.